Hi everyone. Today is November the 13th. We've got the CPI at 8:30, so you want to be flat-ish or looking for these very big spikes down or spikes up because we are relatively range bound. We're building a new area of acceptance in the chart, and for several days we just one time framed up, just boom, boom, boom. All right. So yesterday we noticed a savage break and then an absolute turnaround. This is where sellers said, I'm taking profit because I've come into the 50% edge of my range, or buyers said, whoa, this is support. I'm going to take a stab here because we are moving very quickly to the upside. And as of this morning, we are holding that low, right? We've got ourselves a little bit sideways with the CPI ahead. Things could quieten a little bit. My thought is if the CPI presents data that the traders think is positive, it's going to run. It could run all the way back up to 60.33. If it's not, it's going to break this zone at 59.85. Right now, that's the area to watch. If you're thinking about going short, I'd wait for after the CPI, see what happens. If it savagely breaks and then begins to hold, you'll need to look at a 5-minute chart for that. You'll be able to see an area to buy over the longer term. My thought is 59.58-ish. Next zone, it really could be 59.50, so you want to watch for that very carefully. This is the next volume profile to watch for the area. So support zones, if we start holding 59.85, it's going to be a bounce up into resistance. Volume point of control currently at 60.21. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Let's take a look at the NQ. Not quite as clean, but you can see it's at that 50% range from this last breakout. So why did I draw this box here? Well, obviously we had a massive break to the north. That's very important. It means that a lot of buyers were sitting there, and that number looks like about 20,962, something like that. All right. And so fades down into this area. We're going to run into buyers. Watch for them to try and hold the zone. If it breaks, 20,797 is next. Yesterday, we had this very sideways formation that gave us great shorts at 21,240. That could essentially be the same area, but if the CPI gives us a big spike, it could go to 73, and then the top of the value area high, that's 21,300. Things are slightly dribbling, so I would say, hey, consider the short action on the bounce. But if you're quick on the draw and it's got a clean breakaway that you can trade, it's going to go down into support. So my thought is not a real place to sell and hold, but this low volume node is very likely to be some sort of magnet. Let's take a look at the YM. This is a great big giant box of motion. Here's the first area. This is the first zone. It comes into this breakout zone. And so literally what we've done is we're either sitting at a retest of a breakout or it's going to be a failed breakout. We don't know which one it is. Right now, buyers are trying to hold it at the volume point of control as a positive breakout that will send us to the north at 44,343. If it breaks, we're headed to value area low at 43,536 with a potential pit stop at 43,080 or so. That's really what I'm watching. A lot of people are going to try and buy this area, but with the CPI coming in, we could have this kind of stop running where it runs, everyone stops, and then it gets back up there and sort of holds steady. YM looks like it's going to be a messy chart today. Back by popular demand, Bitcoin. Now, yesterday I mentioned, listen, 90,000 is a place where people are going to take profit. And they went up to that 90,740. I've noticed a few things about $500 motions in the chart, but I'm going to save those until I know them a little bit better because this is my first foray into trading micro Bitcoin, but it has been pretty stable. So what are we looking at? This is the region that we're caught in. Pullbacks into 87,000, they've been buys. Notice it drops to 85 before it recovers, but we've got higher lows. And so the key thing to watch will be, listen, do we break this trend and head lower? The chart needs some consolidation, and there's a volume pocket down here that is completely empty from the futures perspective. And so that usually brings traders into the base of that area. However, this is a house of fire. A lot of people are looking for 100,000 here. If we duplicate this rectangle, we'll see that probably 95 is going to be the next track. And then, of course, we'll see 100,000 if it gets there. So this is going very nicely. It is by the dip. The dip's 87,000 I like. Here it's trying to get over 88,500 and stay there. If it does that, it's going to very likely test 90,000. So we're looking at this heavy range of congestion to see if it can get up over that area and stay there. This moves very, very quickly, but you can trade them you can trade it really nicely with a reduced risk. It's been a fun chart to trade, truly. It's been a really fun chart to trade. Okay, so that being said, that's what we're looking at today. We're going to wait on the CPI. Could you say, hey, listen, Emery, is this sort of like a wedge break? I'm going to the north. That feels likely. I buy the dip. If the dip comes at the CPI, all the way down at 85,800, 2 days ago, the volume point, the VWAP was at 84,791. We could easily see any of those numbers. Just stay on the side of the moving averages and you'll do just fine. SPY, breaking down a bit, just like we thought, right? Here is that 600 big fat round number. Those matter. And now we're just walking through this wider range, right? If I take a look at this, are they trying to hold this last breakout zone? Yes, they are. But the region near 595 is where all the buyers came in the last time. So we'll be looking for that. Look for buyers to come in there. If they do, we'll move back up into the 598 area, but this looks very, very sideways. Moving averages suggest that bounces are sell zones. We're making lower highs, and traders are going to try and break this low, at which point, here's the low volume node, 591, last breakout area. I would not be surprised to see that. It would be very good for the market if it just came in and took a breath. It would give us a lot more traction to the north. These massive moves to the upside do have a tremendous tendency to retrace over time. I've been staring these charts down for 20 years, and that's just how they move. Here, big group of buyers coming in at 509. Notice, this was the support zone at 511. We crashed right through it. When you look at that and you say, all right, where's my big time frame? Let's see if it recovers that 510 area. And once it recovers it, you go, okay, I see the buyers coming in here, movement to the upside. Liquidity for all of these charts is well below. This is very thin upside motion, a lot of price chasing. Be careful, right? Watch your size. Things are going to settle out and look really nice in the future. But at this juncture, we have the tendency to see these very big wicks and very big candlestick motions that retrace. All right, good luck today, folks. I'll see you on the streams, Midday Moneyball. We'll be talking about some new choices in the charts.